Hey everybody, this is Party Like a Rockstar with your host, me, Joel Miller. Today I am interviewing my buddy, Bobby Leigh, with a little bit of help from my intern of the day, Kathleen Leary. Bobby Leigh is an award-winning filmmaker, writer, and roadie. He's worked for such major rock and roll legends as Aerosmith, Guns N' Roses, Red Hot Chili Peppers, Four Non Blondes, Kiss, Lynyrd Skynyrd, Quiet Riot, Night Ranger, Skid Row, Joan Jett, Social Distortion, The Offspring, and Stained. He's currently putting his book together called Memoirs of a Tour Manager. Kathleen runs the backstage at the Charlottesville Pavilion in Virginia, and she's currently working for Dave Matthews. Today's episode is brought to you by Misha's Kind Foods, an LA-based business Misha's Kind Foods, an LA-based small business making the world's finest non-dairy cheese spreads on the market today. Delicious and healthy, made from a cashew and almond milk and blended with various locally sourced fresh herbs, vegetables, and spices. No vegetable oil, soys, fillers, starches, or nutritional yeast. It's lactose-free, paleo, keto, kosher, Parev, 100% vegan, kind to the planet, animals, and your body. I'd say I put this shit on everything, but I only put it on shit I actually like. It's also brought to you by HollywoodSauce.com, bringing you the very best in hot sauces, barbecue sauces, salsas, marinades, and other fiery foods. There's my intro. Let's get to it. How are you, Bobby?
I'm good. And you?
I'm pretty good, man. I'm pretty good. So I wanted to ask you, because I actually have no clue, how did you get into the music industry? What was your first gig? Where did it all start?
Well, my dad was a nuclear physicist, and
way to be an overachiever. Good job, Bobby. I'm sure he was so proud of you.
Well, no, because I'm not. And he said to me, my brother, he said, what do you want to do in your life? And I said, I want to be a rock and roller. And he said, not in my house.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. So at 16, I left home.
Actually, hang tight. What's a rock and roller? To you back then, what was a rock and roller at the time? You're 16 years old.
So back then, a rock and roller was like, somebody who doesn't care, actually. Just,
so it wasn't really necessarily all about music. It was more about like rebellion.
Well, no, it was a rebellion, and it was about music. It's like, I was a punk rocker as a high school kid,
So like, I don't know, what bands, like Clash or before, or?
Sex Pistols. I'm old.
You're not that old. You still look young, kind of. I mean, if you're blind, I don't know.
I'm not going to pick on you. You probably are blind.
No, I'm just being bad. I've been picking on everybody I've interviewed here, but it's hard to pick on you because you kick my ass.
I would. Yeah.
No, I know. All right, so you're a kid. You're listening to Sex Pistols, which is fucking amazing, obviously.
Blondie, the Ramones, and I wanted to, just rebel and just say, fuck it.
And where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in England, but at this point in my life, I was in Arkansas with my father had retired. He was recruited by the United States government to work on this project in New Mexico.
Okay.
The Los Alamos project.
Your dad was English?
Yeah. No, my he was Scottish.
Oh, no way. No wonder you're cheap. Sorry, that was my English hit there. That was really bad. I shouldn't have said that one.
And basically I left home. I left home that day. I took everything I had in my backpack and I went to the nearest town, which is like 30 miles away. And I went and stepped in a park and I hung out at music stores and I basically lied my way onto a tour. I was 16 and I just said, oh, sound. I know sound. I can do that. Yeah, I know that. And they hired me.
Wow. So, I mean, you didn't know shit about sound, right? So how
I
did you
didn't know
play it off?
anything about it.
So was there a guy there who was, I mean, how big, who was the tour? What was the band? Do you remember?
It was a small tour. It was a top 40 band called Crossroads South, and basically there was the guitar player set the PA up every day, and he kind of sound checked it, and got it ready to go. And I stood there, and for the first 2 weeks, I was amazing. People were going like, "Wow, it sounds really good."
And you're kind of like,
And then I started
don't
touching.
say.
Then I started touching things and started playing with things and saying, "Oh yeah, right, okay, mate, I'm good. I'm gonna touch things." And I started touching things, and then it got really bad. And then by that time, everybody liked me. They liked me, so they were like, "Oh, we got to make this guy work out."
So wait, did you ever come clean? Were you eventually like, I actually never knew anything, and now here we are?
I did. I finally said, it's like, I don't know anything what I'm doing.
And they're like, we figured that out by now. Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
that's exactly what they said. Yeah,
did you ever do a big tour as a sound guy?
yeah.
And with like Dave Rad, or no? Dave's totally came later.
No. Dave Rat came way later. I did sound for Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Okay, and so what? Front of house monitors? What were you doing?
House. I did Aerosmith.
I never.
Quiet
Riot.
Now I'm really dating myself now.
Why? I toured with Quiet Riot.
You did not.
I did.
I know that you toured with Guns N' Roses. I did 2 Guns tours.
Yeah, I only did a couple shows for Guns, but I love Guns N' Roses. Yeah, I did the Glam Slam Summer Jam, Bobby. It's a life changer. A life changer. All right, so you're 16 years old. You totally suck at what you do.
Yeah,
pretty
much.
I meet you at what? I don't know, probably 30 when I met you. I'm guessing you probably were.
Yeah, something like that.
Something like that, right? You still totally sucked at what you did. So how did you switch up to being a tour manager? So for Social Distortion, we talk about Social Distortion a lot because I'm a big fan of Social D2. But how did you go from that little band? What was the next gig, and then what was your big jump to like a big tour, like a bus tour or whatever?
What happened is I was actually on another tour, another top 40 tour in I think it was North Dakota, and me and 3 other people, there's 4 of us total, we decided, you know what, this sucks. It was Thanksgiving, we're like stuck in this band house, and we're like, we gotta go to LA. We gotta go to LA. We're gonna start over. And so we all left in the middle of the night. All of us just packed up and left in the middle of the night, came to LA and started working for free.
Can all relate to that one, right?
because the Hollywood Sunset Strip deal was all about free. And I worked for a bunch of different bands. I worked for Ruthless and London, who I don't know if you remember them.
I don't know them. So you're working though at a venue?
No.
Working as a roadie,
independently as a sound guy.
Okay.
We did Gazzari's and we did the Rainbow and we did all kinds of little clubs.
So what year roughly is that?
Mid 80s. So
the Sunset Strip is fucking amazing at that time.
Totally happening.
That's cool.
Before I did that, when I first came to Los Angeles, I lived on Franklin and Highland, and me and my friend Mason, who's a drummer, we took the bus to the Rainbow every night because people at 2:00, people would come out of the bar and they would go into the little parking lot at the Rainbow and hang out and pretend like they were in there all night.
I went to the Rainbow once for New Year's Eve. I forget who I was hanging out with, but it was fun.
Me.
That was you? Oh, man. What a shock.
It was me.
Did you pay the bill?
Uh,
Actually, you know what? I think that might be the last time I saw Lemmy was there.
oh.
I think, before he passed away. All right, so I didn't know you were a sound guy. That's actually really interesting. So you're doing sound for a minute. What made you transition over to, like, I know you as a tour manager. So what other stuff were you doing?
I was doing sound, and I was working for a band called Vane out of San Francisco. They were like, kind of like,
A teeny bopper, like a Hanson?
no, like a hair band,
Oh, okay, yeah.
like a Poison.
Those
They were
guys.
really popular Poison fans, really big on chicks.
Okay, that's healthy.
So my manager said, you know, look, we need to get another tour manager. I'm like, good. She said, well, what if you did it?
So you doubled up.
So she said, well, what if I double the salary? I'm like, I'm in.
So tour manager, I don't know. Is it fair to say it's an easier gig than being a sound guy? I mean, the sound guy's tough, dude. You're the first guy to get fired. Dude, everybody shits on you all the time. And, you know.
No,
it's
a
a tough
tour
gig.
manager is much difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like everything's responsible on you. Everything relies on you. It's like, you know, how many, you know, everything you see and everything you hear is responsible for the tour manager is responsible for.
So from Vane, where did you go from there?
I went to a Christian band called Stryper.
Oh, no kidding. And did you double up then too, or you went back to just
Yeah.
sound? Oh, so
Yeah.
once you doubled up, I mean, that's where the tour manager stuff, you never dropped it. You kept doing what, both?
The money was too good. The money was too good. It's like, you know, Stryper was short and sweet. I also worked for Hurricane.
Oh, yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah, for sure.
Hurricane, because it's like, remember Quiet Riot, when, you know, Quiet Riot, the guitar player, called Cavazio, and let me think here, Rudy Sarzo,
Yeah, Rudy's.
Quiet Riot. Now in Hurricane, it was, oh God, I can't remember the Cavazio's name, but it was Robert Sarzo, same brothers, just two different bands. And we did that, and I did a Stryper tour, and we threw a bunch of Bibles out and hit people in the heads, and they sued us. And, you know, there was a bunch of underage girls, and, you know, a bunch of drinking and a bunch of stuff. You know, it was a nice, good Christian tour.
You should have toured with Hanson. I told you.
Sorry, did you say you hit people with Bibles? I just wanted some clarity on that.
Who likes it? I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue, dude. And then you go to the. They're like, can you put your hand here and put your hand up in the air?
The band threw out Bibles during the show to the crowd, and they were hitting people in the head, and they were suing us.
Freaking great. You gotta love America.
Yeah, the power of Christ compels you. I don't know.
Okay, so we finished up with those guys, and then I'm assuming the bands just got bigger. When did you start working for Social Distortion? Was that the first, you know, big act that? Well, Stryper and them, they're pretty big.
Stryper was pretty big. Stryper was bigger. Social Distortion was odd. It was odd because it's like, you know, I got this call from A&M Records. And apparently the vice president for A&M Records was managing Social Distortion, Jim Gierno, who to this day I think is like the greatest manager ever. However, he is like, oh, I want you to manage my little band. Okay, fine. We're going to go to Arizona, and we get there, and John Maurer, who you know.
Yeah, I like that. Well, I met him through you. Yeah.
John Maurer and Dennis Donnell showed up, the guitar player showed up drunker than skunk, and we're in a van, and we drive all the way to Arizona, and the entire time for 8 hours, I'm thinking of how am I going to quit these guys immediately? I want to quit. We got to Arizona, and we had 15,000 people there. It's a big show.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Social D was. It was like one day it was like 500 people. The next day it was like 10,000.
And you were doing sound or no? Now we're just tour
I'm
managing.
doing both.
Oh, no kidding.
I'm doing both.
And what's the thing?
It wasn't until finally, after like many years, Girno, I mean, I couldn't imagine not doing sound. But Girno said to me, he's like, you know, our shows are becoming so. Oh, I was doing the Offspring, and Girno said, our shows are becoming so big that I think you really need to concentrate on doing tour managing. Let's bring in Dave Rat.
That makes sense. He's pretty good at what he does.
He is.
And then, so is Grandpa on that tour? Or?
Oh yeah, Grandpa was there. Oh,
you met Grandpa, Kathleen?
I've heard this name, yes.
Oh,
Hey.
Grandpa.
Grandpa.
What I called him the Queen Bee or the Queen Mum, pretending no, James. Oh, blimey, an actor playing the Queen Mum, because that's what he is. He's the Queen Mum.
I just love that a sound guy is Grandpa.
We had a amazing thing on that tour. On that tour, I don't know if you remember, but do you remember that we had Crazy Hat Day?
We're talking about the Chili Peppers now?
Yeah.
Crazy Hat Day? I don't remember. What did
Like on the road, you guys would do Crazy Hat Day?
Yeah, where I bought like 50 different like old women's hats from like 30s and 40s.
Okay, I'm kind of remembering. Yeah, I'm kind of remembering now. Yeah.
And everybody wore these hats all day long. And we like the most common, like Grandpa. Grandpa was a normal looking older man. And he had this old woman's hat on. And it was hilarious. It's like
with the peacock feathers.
Are we talking like old Southern church lady hats, like Leigh?
A bunch of random crap. The hats were all over the place, but they were like, I don't know, hats from like the 30s and 40s with feathers and shit coming out. We were like flappers. I don't know.
It was hilarious, and as you know, Rifkin.
Yeah, right.
I forgot. Your name's Rifkin.
Yeah, Rifkin. So everybody music calls me Rifkin. Yes.
Yeah.
Just two people.
So we played a joke on the supporting act at the end of every leg.
Yeah.
And
Bobby's
Rifkin's band, Stone Temple Pilots, got me back.
What do we do?
You didn't do anything. I did it. Remember? It's like you guys had Charlie Hernandez working for you.
Yeah, he was my boss.
And all my guys on my tour were afraid of him because they all wanted Metallica.
Well, on my tour, they were afraid of him too, just so you're aware.
So I didn't trust anybody on my tour. So there was only two people I trust. Baggy, my rigger.
Oh, Baggy. Yeah.
Baggy, you remember Baggy?
Yeah, Baggy and Pippi.
Yes, and Pippi, yeah. And then my lighting guy, my video guy, I trusted him. And I ordered 5-gallon bags of popcorn from the local venue from Key Arena in Seattle. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was like Raining Men. It was fucking buttered popcorn.
Except it was buttered.
Yeah, the butter part was awesome. I truly remember that.
That was not funny.
No,
No,
it's
wait,
not.
what did you do with this popcorn?
He dropped it from the fucking sky, man. He covered the whole fucking stage. It was absolutely everywhere. It sucked. And then during set change, he wouldn't shut the fuck up, so I couldn't clean the crap. And we've got to schedule. So we're trying to get all this popcorn off, and he's just sitting there eating it, like, oh wow, I wonder what happened.
My band, Anthony and Flea were so pissed.
Well, the problem is, okay, so there's a dance surface called Marley, and Marley is just like a wrestling pad or whatever, and it's better for your knees and stuff. So we had it out on that tour for Kiedis, for Anthony Kiedis, actually. But Scott, I'm sure, liked having it around, I'm assuming. Anyway, I would roll it out. Shoot, man, was that just with STP? I'm forgetting now. But anyway, Marley. So the problem with the Marley is with butter all over it, it's slippery. So we're out there cleaning as much as we can. If you wanted a comedy of errors with roadies, Bobby made it happen.
It was horrible. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
It was way worse than confetti.
Yeah. Confetti goes everywhere, but butter on Marley is really bad.
It tasted good. It was nice popcorn.
Good. The popcorn.
You were licking the Marley?
Yeah, fuck. I ate a lot of the popcorn. Well, I mean, there comes a point where you're looking at it all like, I've lost. This is a lot. We're not going to make set change in 15 minutes or whatever it was. It's not going to happen. So you bring everybody out. You got the cooks. You got everybody, the parking attendants. I don't know. Hey, get the popcorn. So we're all trying to clean it up, but I think we played before you guys, which would mean they would care because they're the ones who would slip. So we had to do a big cleanup act. Yeah. But I mean, it worked out.
Yeah. There was another real big cleanup act one time. I used to play around on the side a little bit with Courtney Love. And we did a show.
I mean, you guys used to do like somersaults together, or
yeah,
Okay.
We did a show in Chicago, and it was Hole, Blondie, Hole, and the Offspring. And me and Dexter, the singer for the Offspring, are on the side of the stage during Hole. And he's watching her, and I'm watching her, and she's using all of his drinks, all his stints, all his like little things, like oh, let's go out in the crowd, let's do this, let's do that, whatever. And he's like, "What the fuck, man? What? How did she know all this?" And I said, "I don't know. She just asked questions. I told her it was pillow talk. It was like no big deal."
Bobby, you fucking narc. It's funny, actually.
He goes, "If we want to win, you have to fix this."
Well, I talked to Dexter recently. He told me that he hates you still, and you're damned to hell was the exact words.
He wouldn't say that.
He told me, dude, and then he told me to go buy some hot sauce, right? All right, anyway, sorry, back to your story.
So anyway, so I was like, how am I going to do this? It's like all of Dexter's little antics that he does during the show, she just used them. So he can't.
You have very odd pillow talk, by the way. So you're sitting there, you're grabbing a boobie, I'm assuming, or something. You're like, let me tell you about Dexter's dancing ability.
I didn't know. It wasn't like that. It just happened.
Was she like, oh, Bobby, you sexy thing, you tell me about Dexter?
Yeah. She was like, what does Dexter do? She hates them. She hates the Offspring.
Really?
Yeah, hates them. What happened is that I said to Dexter, I said, well, the only thing I can think of, and we're in an amphitheater, is that it's really dirty out there. You should tell the crowd to do everything in their power to clean up this amphitheater. And ask everybody to pick up a piece of trash and throw it on the stage.
Oh, God.
The only problem was, this is when I was with the Offspring before I got the Chili Peppers, because the band after the Offspring was the Chili Peppers.
And they still hired you after that crap? Wow.
They hired me. It was 45 minutes of stagehands shoveling trash off of the stage in shovels. Snow shovels.
So you got a theme going here, is what you're telling me.
Yeah, kind of destructive.
Years ago, what was the drummer dude's name in The Offspring?
Ron Welty was.
So he had a house on Kings River in Arizona.
Yeah.
You ever go there?
Yeah.
We went out there one time.
There's a studio there.
Yeah, it's a cool pad. And we were hanging out and everything, and everybody's doing a bunch of blow. And all of a sudden, like one night, they're all sitting there like, who drank the bottle of Jägermeister? and they're all like looking at me. And I'm kind of like, they all think I fucking drank it. There's been a conversation here, and they're so gacked out. They're just focusing, and I'm kind of like, I didn't do it. And I'm looking like, I'm going to get my ass kicked here. And this one guy pops up and he's like, I drank the Jägermeister and fuck you. And I was like, so that guy, when I see him, like, you're my savior, bro. They're all going to kill me. But you piped up, my friend.
Was that George?
No, George is a shit, though. I haven't had George's name in a really long time. Was George was on the Chili Peppers? Or I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Oh, God.
George was with us. George was there.
Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if George would have. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he would have hit me. I don't know. But yeah, I forgot about George. Yeah, George was there.
George and I got in some major trouble in different places, different cities.
I believe it. So, all right. So how did you get onto the Chili Peppers? Did they needed a tour manager and they brought you on?
You know, it was like I heard that I heard that they were looking for somebody. I didn't think there was a chance in hell that I was going to get it after the Chicago show. But the summer before that, the Offspring did a tour in Europe, European festivals, and it was the Offspring and the Chili Peppers co-headlining, but the Offspring went on before the Peppers, and me and Dexter decided we're going to bring our own production. And nobody in the 40 years that the European film or music festivals that ever happened had ever brought their own production. And I guaranteed them, because of what happened with Guns N' Roses and Metallica. On the Guns N' Roses Metallica tour, I was able to do that set change within 30 minutes from Guns to Metallica. Mind you, Metallica didn't go on because Axl wasn't ready.
This is what we pride ourselves on in music industry. I could do set change. Back in my day, I could do set change. It's amazing.
Do you guys also watch the Super Bowl just for that like 30 seconds of them building the stage really fast?
They're good. It's super impressive. Yes, I do. It's like the part of the game I care about. I watch it for sure, and I'm like,
you're like, oh, I see what you've done there.
Remember the last Olympics, the one that was in China, when they like the intro to the whole Olympic game was just so insane.
Yes.
That's what it's like for us. That's like,
yeah.
All right, Bobby. So where are we at here? I don't even know. So we're hooking up with Courtney Love, and you're telling her all the shit you shouldn't be talking about. And then
what happened was that basically, because I did this set change and we brought our own production, our own sound and lights, we had everything, and I got it off within 30 minutes. And so that's why I got the Peppers.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
But you're a tour manager. Why would they care?
Because I get things done.
Fair enough. So a question for you, Kathleen. So we're dipshits. We make a big mess of the stage. You're the local there. You're in charge of the backstage area. Do you give a crap? I mean, are you kind of like, what the fuck now? I have to deal with this, or you don't really care?
Like, are we talking popcorn level dipshits? Or...
Yeah, let's say, popcorn level dipshit. I mean, do you, like, I don't know, Bobby, what do you think? I wouldn't think you guys give a shit, but I wonder.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I I would say if you have a good attitude about it, if you're not an actual shithead and you're like, hey, I did this thing, and instead of just you guys deal with it now, like we've had like, confetti cannons and all kinds of things that come with the production. And if you're cool about it, people are happy to help out and clean that kind of stuff up. And like popcorn day, I think I would have felt the same way. Like, oh, this is funny and I'm into it,
I'm just wondering.
I thought it was really funny, the popcorn thing, but then there was a time when, I got the Foo Fighters back. I had a whole bunch of marinara spaghetti dumped on oh blimey, what's his name, the drummer for the Foo Fighters?
Taylor.
I dumped on him. Oh, then on the last Foo Fighters show, I changed the laminates. So the only laminates that were valid were the Peppers laminates. And the opening act, the Foo Fighters, were not valid because that particular show in Hershey, Pennsylvania, I rendered them playlist. Because I had a runner go out and get 2 5-gallon drums of ice cream, and in the middle, it sat in her car all day long and melted. And during the Foo Fighters show, we poured it over Taylor, and then I had my roadie Dave Leigh, who was John Frusciante's roadie.
Good guy too.
Great guy.
Yeah.
He came out as a hillbilly in the middle of the thing, in the middle of their show on their stage playing banjo. And then Dave Grohl, I had brought in a transvestite to take pictures with Dave Grohl.
Why do you say so seriously? Are we supposed to be in fear right now, or what do we got?
No, what are we in for?
You were this poor person.
It's supposed to be funny, but Dave Grohl, I totally got it, and he's like, oh, I get it. And then the only thing they could do back to me was during my show, during my band, when my band played. My band was no uptighter, or they were all uptighters. There was no fun at all. They didn't think any of this stuff was funny. But the Foo Fighters came into the barricade, and then they threw tighty-whitey men's underwear with chocolate-covered stains on them at my band. That was their big comeback.
Were you friendly at all with Scott Weiland? I don't know. Did you ever?
Yeah. Oh, Scott, I took care of Scott. It's like, Scott, I don't want to talk about it right now, but Scott, I bailed out of a lot of different situations. I did with Scott twice. I did with you with the Pepper on the Peppers tour.
Yeah.
And then also Stained co-headlined the Family Values tour with them.
Oh, okay. That's after me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a year after me. That's cool. I as you know, I cared a lot about Scott, so it's fun to hear stories. So he's a good guy. All right. So when the hell did Guns N' Roses get into the picture here? When did you work for Guns? I think it was before the Chili Peppers, no?
Yeah. I did Guns twice. I did the Appetite for Destruction tour.
Oh, no way.
As a sound guy.
So
as a monitor guy, I was number 53.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, with me, I think it was Pooch. I think he was the sound dude. And then I don't know, did Maxie do Guns? I think Maxie did Guns.
Yeah. I did. Then I later worked for Guns. I set up a couple tours for David, the manager.
Mm-hmm.
That never happened. And
did you guys pull any like wind up bullshit on Guns?
No.
It's just boring. Well, not boring, but no shenanigans, no wind ups.
Nope.
Was Dizzy? I know Dizzy wasn't on the Appetite tour. What about the other tour?
Yeah, he was on. He was on. You use
Use Your
Use
Illusion
Your
tour?
Illusion. Yeah.
I think that was Dizzy's first tour. That was cool. You guys drank a bunch of Jägermeister.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Set up actual strip club.
Did you tour with Sean Payton?
No.
No, he's a Guns guy. All right. Anyway, whatever. We can move on here. But so you got nothing to tell me about Guns N' Roses, man? That's like my favorite band.
I know. Not really. Yeah.
Story guy comes to Guns N' Roses. He's all boring. But all right, whatever. And then
you know, and I hear the touring again.
I think so. I think they were doing shows in South America, I want to say. I don't know. I'm sure they're gearing up, but kind of everybody's trying to gear up right now. So I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. I just honestly, as a fan, I want to hear some new material because I'm looking forward to it. So that's my hope. But I think they've been recording stuff. I would assume they're working at it. So
I think they're getting ready to tour this in the fall.
cool. When did you do Aerosmith?
1992.
Early on. Was that Mark Hogue or no? Production manager?
No.
Well, just wondering. So
No, I did the Get a Grip tour, which was like 2 years.
Oh man, so that came out when I was in high school. So there you go. And I loved that album. But Alicia Silverstone too kind of helped with it all.
Yeah.
She was so gorgeous. But that was a kick-ass album. I mean, that I don't know. I'm assuming like that was I don't want to say comeback because they were Aerosmith, but that was a huge hitting album. So that tour must have been nuts.
It was insane. It was insane.
And
And you know the Aerosmith deal, right?
What do you mean? Was he dating Courtney Love too?
No.
Okay.
No, but
Was he dating the transvestite? Is that why we brought that up? I don't know.
no, the Aerosmith deal is like there's no you have to sign a contract that you can't drink or use any drugs.
Didn't know. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was obviously a big cultural change for you.
It was horrible.
I mean, honestly, so I know Steven Tyler's kind of tough. Were you in charge as a tour manager of having to deal with him?
Steven's great. Joe is a little difficult.
No kidding. That's cool. So so you were their tour manager, I assume, right?
Yeah.
So what does it mean? I mean, like you have these stories like, oh, the guy wants a candy bar at 3 a.m. or whatever.
Been there, done that.
You have really? You've got to deal with that crap?
Yep.
So like what?
We had a chef with chili peppers.
Jamie.
He wanted a cheeseburger at 3 a.m. We broke into the hotel restaurant, which was closed, to make a cheeseburger.
And that was who for Flea?
Yep.
One of the nicest guys I've ever met. Such a class act.
Great guy.
Don't you talk shit about Flea, Bobby Lee.
I'm not talking shit about Flea. I love Flea.
Don't you talk shit about
I love Flea. His daughter Clara.
Yeah, I remember she used to remember they used to have those. It was her that they'd have those little scooter things and they'd be cruising around backstage all the time.
She babysat my daughters on tour.
Wow. Now that's a
I
lot of work.
My daughters on tour.
What did you pay her?
I didn't pay her anything.
Yeah, see, you cheap bastard. That's why Flea doesn't like you. You shout piece of shit. Yeah. So, all right. So Jamie gets up at 3 o'clock in the morning with you to make the guy a hamburger.
Yeah, cheeseburger.
That's rough. Okay, so like the chili pepper,
vegan cheeseburger.
Naturally, of course. So, like, what bands would you put up with that with? So the chili peppers, I'm assuming, like, do you even care? I mean, did that bug you? Do you give a shit?
No, because it's part of the job. It's like you do whatever you. I don't care. I didn't care. It's like, as long as the check keeps coming.
That's how I used to look at it. People were telling me with Axl, he's really tough to deal with. Not that I had to, but if you don't like it, go get a different job, man. Go work for another band.
When I worked for Guns N' Roses, Axl was throwing microphone stands at people, and I was doing monitors at the time, and it's like, he hated. I was number 53 in like a month and a half.
Didn't we say you were number 28?
No, I was 53.
That's 53. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to buy one of his mic stands right now from a roadie. He's not working with me on it. Maybe you can go beat him up.
I don't think so.
Well, he would do his own individual mic stands. You know, he had the.
I know.
They were cool. Or I think they're cool. All right, so basically, if I need a cheeseburger at 3:00 in the morning, you're the guy I should call.
I'll get it done.
Get it done. That's cool. You're a good guy.
I'll make it happen.
Only if you're writing him those paychecks, Joel.
Yeah.
As long as the check clears.
How much does a genuine Bobby Lee go for these days?
I'm sorry.
How much does a genuine Bobby Lee sell for these days? It's a lot. And then, all right, so let's go through some of these other bands because they're pretty cool. Kiss. You know, when did you do Kiss?
I did Kiss on the Animalized tour.
Was it did you work with the two girls? Their wardrobe girls, the Bobbsey twins.
There was 2 girls that did wardrobe.
They were fun. They're entertaining. They talk a lot.
I can't remember them exactly, but I sort of remember them.
So you're tour manager for them too, right? Kiss.
No, I did sound for them.
Sound for them. Okay, cool. And so in the front of house or monitors or
Monitors.
What do you prefer, monitor or front of house?
Front of house.
Would you do sound again, you think, or but
I like sound. I'm not a tour guy anymore, you know.
That I get. What's your sound system like at home?
Which one?
Oh, you're still into it, huh?
I have a my bloody house is like a little equipment dump actually. I have a 12-channel PA, you know, 2 huge speakers. I have an awesome home theater system. I have 4 guitar amps.
Oh yeah.
4
We could we can put a whole band together inside your house.
You could
Do a 30-piece orchestra.
my girlfriend does singing bowls, and so I bought this PA. I'm like, we gotta have a PA. So we have mics and we have mic stands and everything.
Whole deal, man. Okay. And Lynyrd Skynyrd sound?
Yep.
What's it like dealing with those guys? I love. Well, actually, so it's like a Southern band. What's the difference? I've never toured with a band from the South in the South. It's got to be kind of exciting. I mean, they're royalty.
They are. Lynyrd Skynyrd is interesting because we had on the same Lynyrd Skynyrd tour, we had twice in one tour, which I've never had this happen before ever. But somebody hit a power thing and all the power went out.
Oh.
So we literally had to plug in the side fills monitors to be able to talk to the audience from the buses. And also on Lynyrd Skynyrd in Toronto, Artimus Pyle, the drummer,
Sure,
really great guy. He's the guy now in Lynyrd Skynyrd 1991, which is the band name, had Artimus Pyle had saved the 4 remaining members of the band from the plane crash in 1976.
Oh yeah.
He saved them. He pulled them out of the plane. So he's still in the band, but yet we had 2 drummers.
Huh.
And I was instructed by management to keep Artimus off to sound.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. And only have the other drummer. And then Artimus got really drunk in Toronto, and him and his kid, he had his own bus, and him and his kid were out there, and he got really drunk and climbed the trusses, and they fired him.
The son or him?
Him.
Oh, no kidding. So that's the final straws when you do roadie work. You're out of here.
He was climbing the trusses because he was drunk, and the what they call the Dixettes.
This was after a gig? This was after a gig he was doing this, or
before the gig?
Prior?
Before the gig, he was completely shit-faced, got drunk. They fired him. The very next day, I put up signs everywhere. Artimus has left the building.
Yeah.
He's gone.
He's rock royalty, though.
Yeah,
he's a neat guy.
It was a great tour. It was a great tour. You know, Skynrd was, you know, not really my cup of tea, but it's like he's great.
Yeah,
I mean,
I love
the whole thing. And Ronnie Van Zant, of course, had died in the plane crash, and so his brother Johnny is now leading the band.
Yeah, he has been for what, decades now. So,
well, oh my God, you're dating me now.
Yeah, has been for a really long time. But you want to talk about lyricists? You know, the guy could really write. They're fantastic. They're brilliant songs. Actually, all of that.
It was a great tour. It was a great tour. You know, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, a lot of fun.
For a band that you didn't like. Now, one of the things I was saying when I was doing some of these interviews recently was, I got really lucky. A lot of the bands I worked for, I liked. I genuinely really liked. Did you ever have to do one for a band that you were like, not my thing?
Yeah, I did a tour for a band that I managed, actually, but because I had to, because I couldn't get a tour manager for them, and I did it, and it was like, you used to have to wake up the audience in the middle of the show or at the end of the show and tell them it was over.
Was that your job?
They were boring. No, because they were boring. They're boring.
Show's over. Go see what's
over. You gotta go.
It's time. We gotta go.
Yeah, I've done those. You know, you do what you have to. Don't love it. Do what you have to.
Do you mind if I ask a question here?
Of course. Yes.
Do you think it changes the kind of job that you do based on like how you feel about the music? Because this is something I've thought about, you know, like, am I doing a different kind of job? Like, do I feel like if I respect the music, does that change how I am at work, or is it just kind of?
You know what? It's odd because you say that, but at the same time, it's like I've worked for artists. I loved the music. The music was fantastic, but I hate the people.
Right.
Yeah.
That is always a bummer. I hate that.
Oh, sucks.
Yeah.
It's like, why do you have to be such an asshole?
Yeah, and you try to make excuses. You're kind of like, maybe they're having a long day or they got issues back at home or whatever. But then day in or day out, you're like, oh man, fuck this guy. This is getting ridiculous. So what so
I worked with a band that walked off Top of the Pops in the UK, which is a big deal.
Sure.
The only other band that ever walked off Top of the Pops was Led Zeppelin.
No kidding.
And my band walked off. And I had everybody in the fucking world calling me up, freaking out. Jimmy Iovine, everyone freaking out. How can you let them do that? And the very next day, we go to Paris. She's still sick. She doesn't feel good. She doesn't not happy. And then we're James Taylor is opening up for us. And then the guy from the record company from East West Records comes in and says, honey, suck it up. Do your job. And I was like, oh, fuck me.
She punched him in the nose?
He told her to suck it up and do your job. And she looked at me and she said, we're out. And we left live on TV. Live.
It is true.
Taylor's playing, and then all of a sudden he's got to stop and say, Oh, they left.
I mean, and it is true. It's how you handle things. I mean, as a tour manager, I would assume like a lot of the words you say, you have to place carefully because a lot of entertainers, including the singers, are
Yeah.
temperamental.
Yeah.
So I guess what do you learn patience and you learn how to, you learn how to be a bud. But it's true. One little thing like that, the guy definitely shouldn't have said that. He should have worded a little better.
And had I thought that he was going to do something like that, it would have been my job to intervene and to not let him come into her space and to talk to her.
So what did she do? She bails and then she's over it the next day, or was it still like, fuck these people?
No, the next day, we went back to the hotel and we went back, and the next day she wanted me to go find her baking soda in Paris. And I'm like, why? Because her tummy was upset because she's sick.
So what's it called? Like Le baking soda?
No, I don't even know what it's called. I went to all the chemists in Paris and looking around for baking soda, and it's like, nobody knows what that is.
I need the thing for the stinky fridge.
Man, I would have bribed a bakery, man. They're everywhere in Paris. You could have had baking soda like that.
I don't know.
You're taking your job, dude. Kathleen's on shit, Bobby.
She is gonna take my job.
What's the weirdest crap that people have had you go get?
That's it. Probably the worst.
That's it.
Yeah.
You speak a bit of French, I think, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I thought so. So
yeah,
crappy excuses you're making.
But the thing is that it's like baking soda. How do you explain baking soda?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. It's tough.
It's not normal. And it's like, it's baking soda is for indigestion. Yeah. You should indigestion.
Well, hopefully it worked and you saved the day, man.
Well, I did save the day, sort of.
What about Four Non Blondes? I used to do yoga with the singer lady, and I liked them.
Oh, Linda?
Yeah, dude, she's cool. No, not cool?
Okay.
All right, what do you got, man? Whoa, she's good at yoga. She can stretch.
Linda's fantastic. She's brilliant. I mean, Linda and I are really good. We were really good friends. We're not. She fired me. Oh. She fired me, and she fired the entire band.
Who got fired first, you or the band?
Me.
Definitely your fault. Poor guys in the band. Feel real bad for them.
Yeah. At the time I had a dance distribution company.
Okay.
Just a sort of a side thingy that kind of took off. My partner in London said, hey, can you sell some records? And so I said, yeah. Well, we started selling some records and it became really big, and it was paying for my offices that was managing Four Non Blondes. So it was paying for everything. And I had 7 employees and everything was going well. And then at the time, dance music became really big. And people were doing remakes of like dance songs, like of popular songs. So somebody took What's Up and they made it a dance hit. And everybody was like, it was like the thing at the time. And Linda said,
see that though. I mean, that song would lend itself to that kind of. I don't know. I can hear that.
Linda thought it was me, and she said, "You're doing that." I'm like, "I'm not. I'm not doing it." She goes, "Yeah, you are. Has to be. You're the dance guy." I'm like, "I don't dance at all. I'm not a dancer."
Luckily, her record producing days were like really short. She didn't really have an important career or anything. You didn't miss out on any work there.
No, she's really good in the studio, and she's really not good touring.
Well, I don't know. When was the last tour they did? It'd be a long time. I mean, she kills it in the studio. She's a big deal. She's a big deal.
When I found her, she was singing on the street
with Courtney Love.
No.
Okay, sorry. Just trying to put them all together. Okay.
She was busking.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. So you were kind of instrumental maybe in making them become Four Non Blondes, or?
Well, not instrumental in making the four non-blondes. They were three blondes, three non-blondes.
You inventive motherfucker. You're like, we're gonna make it four.
No, there were three. There were two girls and a boy,
Yeah.
and they needed a singer. They were big in San Francisco area, and Linda was homeless.
Oh, no way. Wow. So she's had a crazy life.
We sold 11 million records in 9 months.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. She went from like nothing to like everything. And it just was too much. And she's phenomenal. She's an amazing performer. She's an amazing person.
Yeah. I like that. I love that song. I don't know. It kind of defines the era in a lot of ways, I think.
Everybody does it.
Yeah. That's a good trip.
Lady Gaga does it. If Lady Gaga does your song, that's pretty big.
You're doing all right. You're doing all right.
You know,
That was off their first album. Is that right?
their only album.
Only album? They never made another?
I don't think so.
So what do you think's next for you, man? I mean, you've done a lot of stuff here, and we didn't even get into the film stuff, which is actually where I ran into you years later. I ran into you at AFM. It's an American film market in LA. It's where you sell your film to, you attempt to sell your film to international film markets. And I ran into him, like, I know you, dude, and we drank a lot. But
Did back then, yeah.
Yeah, it was a good time. So yeah, I don't think you're a big drinker at all anymore, right? You're so into your meditation now. I don't know.
I do meditation a lot, I hang out with my dog,
Oh, tell them about the dog. All right. So Bobby's dog has an incredible history.
I was in Brazil at a spiritual hospital, and this dog came up and said, like, just sat. And the guy that I was sitting with goes, you got to clap your hands really loud and make the dog go away. And I'm like, what if I don't want him to go away? He said, he'll be with you forever. And I'm like, okay. Well, he was. He was
Bobby's kind of free. We're getting this dog from Brazil to the United States.
How did you transport this animal?
I got a homeless dog. It was a street dog.
It was a street dog. Homeless dog. I got this woman from New York, flew her to Brazil. She goes, how am I going to find the dog? And I'm like, here's the places he usually goes. Within 10 minutes, she heard this like scratching at the door of her hotel, her posada, they call it. And there he was.
Did you steal somebody's dog?
No. I still have him. He's an old boy now.
How old is this dog now?
5.5 years, almost 6 years old.
Is that old for Brazilian dogs?
I don't know if it's Brazilian for Brazilian dogs, but yeah, he's old. He's a lazy sod. You see, he's hangs out in the bedroom all day long. He's like in bed.
Did you like jump up at 3 o'clock in the morning to get him a cheeseburger just so you're like ready for work?
No, I don't.
Like,
although
Bobby's been training at home.
Although the other night I did have to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to go take him out.
Training.
Because I was like, I didn't take him out for his last call, as we call it.
See, we didn't talk about Anthony Kiedis, but that's how I used to go. Bobby would take him out to pee at 3 o'clock in the morning too. All right. On that illustrious note, I think we covered it all. I don't know. You want to tell us about your time touring with the Dinning sisters in the 1930s or anything like that?
No.
All right. I appreciate you taking the time to talk to us today, Bobby and Kathleen. Thank you ever so much for for hanging out. We didn't even get to Dave Matthews. You ever meet Dave, Bobby?
No, I never have.
I never have either. And I'll tell you, like when we first, I don't know, maybe when I knew Bobby, Dave was the first one to get roadies healthcare. He was the first one to get like laptop computers, cell phones. And I just remember being really jealous. Thinking, he really took care of everybody. Do you remember that, man? It was like going around the whole industry that this guy was taking care of his people like that. He's a cool guy.
Nobody ever took care of us.
It was cool, but yeah, nobody was buying us laptops. I never had a band offer me healthcare or anything like that. Never. We'd get Rock Docs if we were actually working. So, but when you're
but we the only thing about Rock Docs is that you should get like drugs.
Yeah, well, yeah, a lot. Vicodin, like,
yeah,
right.
Yeah, it was really good. I know Dave during the pandemic's been paying some people, which is really cool. Have you heard anything, Bobby, about other guys getting paid during all of this right now from the bands?
No one's getting paid. There is a fund that I heard that is actually trying to take care of touring people.
Yeah.
Or like, event people that are out of work because no one's worked. No one's worked in like a year and a half.
Well, I think everyone's going to get real busy. We all hope it, but the thing is, there's only so many venues. So the lineups are going to be incredible because everybody's dying to get back to work. So do you think
Rock Nation is doing a tour? Rock Nation is doing a tour. Or no, not Rock. Live Nation. Rock Nation is the management company. Live Nation is doing a tour, but it's like 5 cities, and it's like cars.
Oh yeah, I've heard about these. I've heard about these shows. It's like you drive into their outdoor venues and you drive in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. You think you'll go back to touring or you're done?
No, I'm done.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So what do you think you're going to do? I mean, I've been pressuring you to write your book because I am eager for you to do so. I
haven't finished it. I haven't finished my book.
Your stories are so much better than mine, and mine did pretty good, man. So I mean,
I'm just happy doing my little thing. I got a great girl, great dog, great life. The
dog's a big deal. He's multilingual. It's good.
Yeah. He speaks Portuguese, French, and Italian. Oh, I'm thinking about buying a house in Italy.
Yeah. How's it being a grandpa?
Old.
You got a new set of troopers that are going to like you, man.
Yeah, I know. We'll see.
All right. Well, bud, I will probably talk to you real soon anyway. Okay. But it's been fun doing it on video/audio. But I'll bug you soon. We definitely have to go to the Rainbow Room when things get open again.
Yes.
I can get myself a good pizza. We're not going to see Ron Jeremy anytime soon, I don't think.
I don't know, man. He's probably still going to hang out there.
He's in jail. He's in a lot of trouble.
The Rainbow is actually still open, but they're open for. Remember that parking lot on the side of it?
Sure.
Now it's like a whole outdoor dining thing.
That's cool. Yeah, I went to Carney's the other day with a buddy, and I'm like, I've never in my life been here sober. I didn't even know it was a train car until right now.
I actually never been there sober either.
No, I don't think anyone. I think the guy looked at me like, "Wow, we understand your order." I think usually they're just like hot dog. No, it was a hamburger. Oh shit. Okay, here we go. All right, guys. Till next time. Thank you.
All right.
And,
thanks. Nice to meet you, Bobby. This is a great chat.
Nice to meet you too.
We'll have you back here. I don't know. We'll talk about. We need to know more about Courtney Love, dude. You totally just dropped the ball on that shit.
Yeah, you left us hanging.
You left us hanging, dude. She was kind of like that Bobby Leigh guy. What a son of a bitch.
Yeah, she's probably saying that right now.
He probably still knows Dexter's moves, though.
Probably.
That's why Steven Tyler was quiet. It's like, she's going to steal all my shit. He's got good moves. He's got good moves. I'll talk to you soon. Good night.
Ciao for now, you guys.
Later.
Bye.